Everyone, welcome to MJS Coaching Football, and thank you for watching my channel. I do really appreciate it. Today in this presentation, I'm going to talk to you about one of our auxiliary plays, easy for me to say, right? In our triple option or gun triple package, and it's off of our rocket toss, and it's simply our what we would call either 38 rocket boot or 39 rocket boot. Okay? So it's an auxiliary play. I'm going to show it to you versus a 4-3 over. So right now at non-subscribers, push that button and you get all the answers as to why we call it an over, right? The numbering system, so on and so forth. And then after I go through the key terms here on the left, I'll diagram it for you on the right. Okay? So first of all, first key term is it's either 38 or 39 rocket. And what that means is it's the toss action. So we don't use the word toss. Okay. So the 38 rocket in the diagram, it's going to be a 38 rocket boot. We only have one play that's 38 rocket, and it's the toss. So our players know that. Okay. So that's important. The second key term is the boot tag, right? 38 rocket boot. What does that mean? Well, it is both the protection as well as it's the pass route concept. Okay, so the one word boot tells our guys the protection and the pass concept that we're running. Therefore, the boot pass concept collectively is the third key concept here. Okay, so for us, the play side wide receiver runs a 15 coming back to 13-yard comeback. Okay, takes care of the deep third. The B back is 4 to 6 yards into the flat. C, the slot back, so it would be the slot back, okay, on the same side as the run action, but coming from the opposite side that the quarterback's running to. He is running an over route. So what you end up with is a curl flat. The over route ends up in the curl area. Okay? So for us, the boot pass concept is very similar to the curl flat concept. But because of the action, letter D, the backside wide receiver is running a post dig. Okay? And that should prevent the coverage from just uber over rotating to try and take away the boot. Somebody has to stay home to account for that backside wide receiver. So for us in our rules, when there's two high safeties, the wide receiver will run a post. He's going to work to try and get in between the two safeties. And then when it's one high, he's going to run a dig. Okay, and he's going to work to get into the vision of the quarterback. So now that'll come into play here in the diagram. So for the purposes of this diagram, we're going to run a 38 rocket boot. So our guys know they're going to execute the 38 rocket toss action. That will also dictate the protection, which I'll share with you in a second. It will start to look like the run, and then will become elephants on parade for the boot. And then since it's rocket toss to the right, boot tag means the pass concept is to the left, right? Boot is the opposite. So everything will stay the same. Ball's in the middle of the field. This is our 2x2. Quarterback's under center. Again, you can do it under gun, but it's better under center. So he's going to get in his tail motion. Be just on the other side of the B back. Ball will be snapped. We'll come back to the B gap in a minute. On 38 rocket toss, the B back goes opposite. Quarterback now will turn, give a really good toss fake, kind of over exaggerated a little bit while being totally secure with both hands on that football. Sell the toss fake. What will help sell the toss fake is the offensive line action. which will start off with all the reach blocks and then end up becoming what we call elephants on parade, right, with the hi-hats. They'll do their best to stay low, but eventually they'll rise up because they're in pass protection. But at that point, the quarterback should be way out here outside the tackle box. Okay? So fake the toss action. Right-handed quarterbacks need to get deeper so they can get around and square up their shoulders, right? Left-handed quarterback doesn't have to get as deep because he's booting to the side of his passing arm. All right, so now remember I said I'll come back to the B back. I will also come back to the in this case the T, because he's not just faking the toss. We give him something to do, setting up a potential play, okay? So now they'll see, the secondary will see pretty quickly that the ball's not been pitched. So his initial stem will be as if he's trying to get across the field, but then rather quickly, he's going to get up to 15 yards and come back to 13. All right, so it's just one initial stem, and then the cornerback safety, they will see it quickly that the ball hasn't been pitched. I mean, it's college football. Okay, so it's a quick stem. Now down to the B back. The B back will take what we call easiest release into the flat. Okay, so if he's bending, it'll be outside. If he comes upfield, it'll be underneath the defensive end, right? So this is what we call easiest release. Okay, so 4 to 6. So it depends on if it's a cover 2. Is he playing the flat route? Is the safety rotating, trying to play the cut right? So that's the hence 4 to 6. So I'm going to save the T for last. He's normally coming up on the toss and he's going to try and block number 2, but now he's going to do that and run the over out, which means behind the inside linebackers. And he heads to the curl area. Okay, so hence curl flat, right? We have too high look, so he is going to run the post, right? Too high post, work to get. He's not going to get directly in between, but he definitely has to get inside leverage on the near safety. Okay, so it depends on the safety rotation, depends on all those things. Okay, so the quarterback, he's thinking number 1 option is the B back. So he's working low to high. Number 2 is the over route. So he's thinking the flat route to the over route. And as he looks at the flat, he should be able to see the comeback. So you got to coach him up. See down the third, flat down through to the comeback. Okay, it's possible, even at the high school level. The backside post is typically a press box call. Okay, so this is what we would call it's a press box. So I'll tell him next time we call rocket boot, I want you to look to the backside post. Okay. So now, and I'm sorry, options, and then number third option, number 3, right? You run it. And situationally, run might become option number 1. Okay, so bear that in mind. Situations can dictate. So dictated by situation. So our base progression is number 1, hit the B back in the flat, 2, look for the over out, 3, run it. But then after that, it can be dictated by the situation. So last but not least, in this case, the T, after he fakes the toss, he's then going to run what we call a lazy wheel, which means don't sprint into the wheel. See the reaction of the corner. If these guys really rotate hard, then we'll set up a throwback to the wheel. Again, this is a press box call. Guy in the press box is keeping an eye on that. But still, coach up your players as to why they're doing it, and then they can better execute the plan. We're trying to see if we can set up throwing a backside wheel. Okay? So, as I said at the beginning, thank you for watching my channel. I do really appreciate it. For subscribers and non-subscribers alike, if you have any questions at all about the rocket boot pass concept, protection, etc., reach out to me at Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.